I got to kick this thing off. Can I kick it off? 1, 2, 3, 4. Ladies and gentlemen, listen.
Conversate with Us Radio presents the Man Listen Show. We are the blackest radio show on the internet. We bring you our opinion on topics that affect the black community in an effort to enlighten, enrich, and empower every brother and sister that falls under the sound of our voice. We operate on a no-hating frequency, so be prepared for us to keep it 100% real and 100% black all the time. Please follow the show on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Man Listen Show. You can subscribe to the show on YouTube. Leave a comment, hit that bell icon so you can get notified when new shows drop. Leave a comment, give us a thumbs up. You can listen to us on iTunes, Apple Podcasts. Go to our website, www.manlistenshow.com. You can just check us out. Make sure you tell everybody about the blackest radio show on the internet, the Man Listen Show. I'm your host, Mark B. Let's bring the crew in. So, hey, man, this young lady down in Alabama, Carlee Russell. Is that how you say her name, Carlee Russell? I think that's how you say it. So last weekend, I think this was like Friday or Saturday. When did this first happen?
Thursday night.
Okay, so last week, reports came in of a young black woman in Alabama who turned up missing. The way the reports were, spread on the internet was that she was driving. She saw an infant on the side of the highway. She stopped to assist the infant, and she was on the phone with her boyfriend's sister or her brother's girlfriend, and all of a sudden they heard a scream, and then she disappeared. So obviously, black social media like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, everybody was immediately alarmed because of all the human trafficking and different things that happen to our women. So everybody was distraught about this young lady disappearing. Then all of a sudden, she shows back up. Now, I said it on social media. I said, listen, I'm glad that this young woman was found safe. I hope that she gets the mental and health. She gets the health and mental wellness help that she needs. But I sure hope this wasn't some bullshit. And after 2 or 3 days, we found out that it was indeed some BS. Now, we're going to talk about it, talk about all the layers. First, we'll start off. When this first happened and it was announced that this young lady disappeared, what were your thoughts? Were you distraught? Were you suspicious? Or did you think, something needs to be done to help find this young woman?
Me as a lawyer, I'll be pretty highly neutral in most situations. I wasn't necessarily distraught. I wasn't suspicious. I was just like, I hope that they're doing their job and looking for her, and I hope that they find her. But I left it at that. So, when people started coming out with all these suspicions or conjecture about what may or may not have happened, I was just like, I don't know. If I saw a baby on the side of the road, I might stop and be God too, but I don't know. So, but I also, in my line of work, I run into not just liars, but ridiculous liars. So I just take everything. I just wait. If I don't have any personal information, then I wait. And then I hear all the details before I make a decision. And that's 90% of the time why I don't say anything about a lot of the stuff that's going on, because I just wait until I get all of the information, or all the information that's going to be available to the public anyway. And then once I get that information, then I make a decision. But a lot of people, they can't wait to talk or comment or make some type of like prediction about how it's all going to play out. Like you get credit for being right that it was this or that, but you really don't. You're doing just as much attention seeking as she's doing. So I don't know.
I don't give damn what you say. Yes, y'all know me. All three of y'all know me. I am Mr. I told you so. That's exactly what I said. I told y'all so. Now, I hope that that I was wrong, and that it's kind of it's a conundrum, right? Like, am I right that this girl faked this whole shit and You know, it was like, oh, here's a black girl. It's gonna make it difficult. Like a lot of people saying now, when black women go missing, they're not gonna take it seriously. We'll deal with that a little bit later. Or she actually was abducted and raped and assaulted and all this. So it's like, which one do you want to be right about? I just wish that it had never happened. So, but I am Mr. I told you so, and I did tell y'all this sound because we've seen it before. We've seen, you know, quote unquote, not necessarily people being abducted, but you know, racial hoaxes like, oh, somebody spray painted my car with the N word all over it and busted out my windows. Then you find out it was like, man, you did that to your car. So because we've seen stuff like that happen, I remember back at our college, the college, you know, that we went to. This dude was talking about, oh, I got beat up. I got beat up by a group of white guys, and you know, we was all having rallies and people were, you know, like, okay, we're going to meet up and we're going to walk with each other at night to make sure that we're safe and X, Y, and Z. And come to find out, something else was the reason why he got beat up. I ain't gonna throw him under the bus.
Wait, what year was this?
You weren't there. You weren't there.
Okay, I was about to say
I don't even think Lav was there.
No, but I know him though. So you know.
So yeah, I'm Mr. I told you so. But Lav, see what y'all think.
I was kind of neutral myself. I wasn't like distraught over it or anything like that. I thought it was concerning. Honestly, another part, I was like, nobody else saw the baby though. Nobody else called the cops. You know, I was like, America's in bad situation, bad shape if nobody else is calling the cops.
Yeah, I saw the camera. They showed the camera and they showed her like driving real slow. I was like, well, where the damn baby at? You know, like, did anybody else see the baby? It was like on that, what's that? Medea's family reunion. Like, you seen that baby? You seen that baby? Who seen that baby? Go ahead.
Like, man, yeah, we worse than I thought we were. Wasn't nobody calling all that.
Go ahead.
I mean, initially I was like, y'all, I was pretty neutral. I mean, if a black woman's missing, and I mean, shoot, pretty much any woman for, you know, that if somebody calls 911 and they go missing, their car's there, like, I think that everybody needs to, you know, bring the search parties out and look for her. And then I'd probably say after like day 2 or 3, when stuff didn't add up, I was a little leery. And then when she showed up and I heard that story, I was like, oh no, she's tripping.
That's what I was about to say. He said found. She wasn't found. She just came home.
Right.
They said the baby dropped her off. Oh,
yeah, and then in this day and age, though, and there is still a lot of missing children, women, men. There's a lot of people kidnapped. There's a lot of sex trafficking. So I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but there's so many people with so many camera phones and so many Ring doorbell, you know, buildings with cameras, and I'm just like, how does somebody just not see the little baby walking, you know, on that freeway or the interstate?
That's the part that's far-fetched. It sounds far-fetched to us, but
yeah,
I saw other people who talked about situations that happened to them where, you know, somebody stopped them. They stopped a young woman, like, hey, help me jump my vehicle or whatever.
Yeah.
It did lead to me having conversations with my young daughters who are in their early 20s, and a lot of people who are sitting there who are skeptical, and I'm just gonna keep it real. A lot of them is in their late 30s and 40s. Just because ain't nobody trying to traffic your old ass, don't mean that they wouldn't try to get a young lady. So yeah, I need to chill out with all that. I mean, just keep it for real. So I mean, I know I'm telling the truth, but you know, it does happen. And a friend of mine was talking about how she saw a baby, and she was like, she got out and she went and she was like, damn, I can't let this baby get hit by whatever. And she was like, damn, that could have happened to me. So it did spark, I think, very valid conversations, because we do see a lot of young women who are trafficked. So I think that's the shame in it all, because some people would say, and I'll address this a little bit later, that now that she has basically cried wolf or cried baby, now people won't take it seriously when other women go missing. I call BS on that.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do y'all think?
Right. They're going to care it even less than they do now?
Oh, that's hard to do.
Yeah.
Right. The same
They
people
wasn't looking for us
who weren't going to look before are not going to look now. And the ones that are going to look, they're going to know that more people are missing than that just make up this little 48-hour story about cheese and crackers and throwing you over the fence and all that. Like, it's like, you know, it doesn't make sense.
They said this girl went to Target and bought snacks and took the snacks and left her wig. So the mom was like, she probably got on cornrows She looked like me with cornrows because she left her wig in the car. I was like, come on, man. This
She bought snacks though. She said she wasn't gonna be out here like that, not eating.
Not not without no
And then I
snack.
was wondering, like, was her original plan to stay in the woods? I know they said she took like a roll of toilet paper from her job.
And
So
a
I was like,
bathrobe or
maybe
something.
originally she was just gonna go off the grid, but then she just got too hot.
I thought
So
she stole money from the job and she went
She
to
did.
the roof in.
She did. She did. She stole money too, but she stole a roll of toilet paper.
In a bathrobe. I don't know
Yeah,
where she was working at, but yeah.
Listen,
My thing was the Google searches. I think so at first I was just like, you know what, this girl's young, she's mentally ill. Like she did all this for attention to her boyfriend. Like people need to kind of figure out what's wrong with her and just, ignore the situation. Then when they said she Googled taken, I was like, oh, I'm done. I'm done.
Now they said she Googled the maximum age for an Amber Alert. Like,
Yeah, how much does it cost? I'm like, these kids just tell on themselves.
Yeah, they do.
right. And I be concerned about my Google searches, but that's because I write scary stories. So I got Google searches about drugs that, take people out and stuff like that.
Right.
But like for you to actually Google some stuff and then go do it, like, I mean, you ain't even go in incognito mode.
But here's the thing.
Why did she pick a Lifetime movie or something? She picked Taken, about somebody getting kidnapped in another country and their dad coming to save them. Like
Everybody gets rescued in Lifetime movies.
But here's the thing for me, the lesson we learn from that. How did they get access to her Google searches? How did she do it at work? Was she looking on the computer at work?
It was on both.
Okay, so because to me, if they look at the Google searches, now we talked about this. I think we talked about this on a previous show. Where one of the rappers, they was talking about a murder that they did, and it was on Snapchat, and they deleted the snap, right? Or they deleted the text message. Police got a warrant, went to Snapchat, went to the phone company. Can you find these deleted text messages? They found them, and it was used against them. So I just let you know that you have no privacy. Even if you have these phones, there's no privacy. If they want to find you, just like we talking about things, and you think your phone is listening, and next thing you know, you go on social media and you say, well, damn, I was just talking about that. How is there an ad? There's no privacy. There is.
But I think with her though, I bet they started with, kind of combing through everything, trying to find her, figuring out, you know what I mean? I don't think it was really, let me bust her for lying.
Her phone was there. That was like evidence.
That may be true, but still the facts remain that if they want to go through your searches and your shit, they can find it.
We don't even have the illusion of privacy anymore. Like between what Facebook and then Facebook done bought everybody. I'm surprised he hasn't gotten hit with a issue with trying to monopolize all of social media and buy everybody that can do everything. But either way, like he has access to so much information about so many people, and then just provide. Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we gave it to him
readily. I believe it was somebody years ago who was like, we're gonna give away our freedom without even a second thought.
So can we really talk about these kids? Because I talk about my kids all the time. So y'all Snapchat y'all locations, everything that y'all do, and then you're like, no, I wait till I leave. No, you don't. No, you don't. You be like P&B Rock.
I tell my kids that all the time. I was like, you never post where you are.
Right.
If I post where I'm at, just know that I was probably there yesterday.
Yeah.
3 weeks for me.
Yeah.
But
I'm home.
I told y'all about that story where everybody was blowing my phone up thinking I was overseas stuck in a hurricane. And I'm right here back in the South and have been back in the mainland for a good solid 3 weeks.
Yeah. Because folks be watching.
Yeah.
People really be watching. I remember I went home and I posted a picture. I was trying to help promote this Juneteenth celebration in my hometown. So I posted a picture with the organizer. Shout out to Mr. Curtis Pitts. And then I went to my family reunion and I was like, oh, you was at the Capitol? And I was like, how y'all know I was at the Capitol, man? Like literally, and they was like, oh, you posted it on Facebook. And I said, I want to delete all of y'all off my Facebook because you watching what I do way too hard. But I can't be mad at them because I put it out there.
Yeah, you shared it.
I put it out there. But it's still annoying though. It's still annoying.
I know you're feeling the show, but picture your ad right here. If you want to advertise with us, hit up the link in our bio and we'll get you on the show.
That's the thing that kills me about people who don't have social media. Like, I'd be like,
and they know everything that go. They know everything that go on.
Right.
Yeah.
Not on it.
They like, it's still public. Most of y'all information is still public. So even though you don't have a page, they can still jump on there and see what you posting and be all in your business, but ain't nobody in their business though.
That ain't what happened. That ain't what happened. You got somebody who is your friend. They said, well, you know what Rika did, right? you know what Marv just got back from. That's how that's happening. That's exactly that's happening. Well, you know, so when the young girl came home, and the one that killed me when they was tracking her on the Ring cameras, so they could see her walking through the neighborhood, and as soon as she got close to home, she started running and flailing her arms like she
no privacy. You can't do anything seriously in life and get away with it. Nah,
they caught her walking calmly on the Ring cameras until she got to the crib.
Eating their Cheez-Its.
Like, come on, man. So you know, when she came home, because y'all right, she wasn't found. When she came home, and people started saying, "All right, now, girl, this seemed a little suspicious." this seemed a little suspicious. And a lot of people that were still defending her. They was like, oh, so all of a sudden, y'all crime specialists, y'all know, y'all ain't gonna give her the benefit of the doubt, this, that, and the other. Like I said, I don't know, man. I remember back in the late, 2008, 2009, there's this little white boy down in the South. And supposedly he was in this homemade air balloon.
Oh yeah.
Air balloon took off, and they was like, the little boy is in the air balloon.
Yeah, I remember that.
They was trying to figure out how we gonna get him down. How we get him down? Of course, it was a little white boy, right? And I was sitting there thinking, I was like, man, that little boy probably up in that attic. And I'll be damned, Mr. I told you so. Guess where he was at? Up in that damn attic. So because of stuff like that, I'd be like, nah, man, I don't know. So I don't think people was wrong to question her. Do y'all think we was wrong to be suspicious about how this went down?
I mean, like Rika said, you gotta wait till you get all the facts. I mean, I don't think anything wrong with being suspicious.
But wait until you get all the facts is different than being like, this is suspicious. Because a lot of people were like, this don't sound right. That's a lot different than what y'all saying in terms like, let me wait till the facts come out.
So I guess saying, okay, something doesn't sound right is different than people's like, oh, she's lying, which I mean, she was, but they was just coming out the gate like that. Like, oh, she's lying. She's somewhere hiding. And so, I mean, I don't know.
I agree, because it's like, it's a difference between being like, and being like Twitter fingers, this lying little girl, this, she, this, that, speculating and thinking you got it all figured out because now you Agatha Christie. But no, I think that it doesn't make any difference whether she was telling the truth or not. We wanted them to search for her with the same veracity that they were searching for them rich people down in the submarine, and we collectively convinced them to go out there and do that. And if we can do that for every Black girl, right or wrong, we made some progress. So
I need them to look for every Black girl. Honestly, I'm putting my tinfoil Koofy on. My tinfoil Scully. I don't think the white dudes really died in that damn submarine. I think they in some island with Pac sipping mojito. There ain't no way you a billionaire.
Wait, you think Pac alive too?
Pac alive too.
Ain't no would have dropped another.
That's why they did. That's why they did the search warrant.
Ain't no way you that rich and you that stupid to get into some shit that's ran by a damn joystick that has batteries. There's no way. Them dudes, look, they gonna dig into it like they dig into Carlee's, like her search record. They're gonna be like, how to evade taxes. You know what I'm saying? How to avoid the IRS. I'm telling you, them dudes. Let me stop. But
I don't think so, because they took the little
I told you so.
They took that little boy. What they gonna do with him? Because he's not gonna be able to keep his mouth shut, and he's gonna go live some point the rest of the
year. Right. You know, these kids can't stay off their Twitter.
No.
What is it? Threads now?
Right.
No. Listen. But anyway, but my point, I need them to be dedicated to the search, just like they were Natalie Holloway. Y'all remember Natalie Holloway?
Yes.
Natalie Holloway went missing in Aruba. Heard about her every damn day.
Every day.
Every day they talked about Natalie Holloway. Did they ever find Natalie Holloway?
Nope.
I don't know. I don't think so. But I posted on the our page the other day where Gabrielle Union was talking about how they get us from the beginning is they list black women as runaways as opposed to an Amber Alert, so ain't nobody looking for us from the jump. And I
Yeah.
was like, hey man, they always trying to get us. Always. Because if you list us as a runaway, then it's our fault. We just out here.
They do that a lot.
Well, you know,
So Arika, what like can come from it other than like filing the false? Well, she didn't really file a report either, though.
Yes, she did. She said she saw a toddler on the side of the highway and people responded looking for that toddler. That's a waste of state resources.
That's not a false report.
Yes, it is.
How was that a false report?
You can't call 911 and say it's a baby on the side of the road.
She didn't call 911. She called her.
She called 911.
Yeah, she called 911.
She called 911
first. Yeah. Hung up on him.
She called 911 and then hung up and called her brother's girlfriend.
So now the police responded looking for her and the baby. That's how they found her car. That's filing a false report. You can't call 911 and tell them it's a baby on the side of the highway.
She had to call the family though because she was supposedly trying to get the attention from the boyfriend. So had she called 911, they might not even know who she was for a few days.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, no, that's the false police report. So yeah, that's definitely, you cannot do that.
But
you can't
apparently,
I can't call 911 and be like, you know what, they over here jumping me.
Well, apparently, you know what I'm gonna tell y'all?
All these cops file false reports.
What'd you say?
All the cops file false reports too.
Cops file false reports. White people file false reports, calling the law on us just because we out partying at the lake or doing whatever. So guess
bird
what?
Watching.
Bird watching. Shouldn't nothing happen to her either. Till they start locking them up or finding them for calling false reports on black people for just living. I want nothing to happen to her either.
I mean, but I think that's the primary thing that they use to get Karens for doing stuff like that. The bird watcher thing that's filing a false report. Like,
yes, she told me
that. Guess what? The Karen that filed the false report on the bird watcher, they let it go.
That's because he didn't want to press charges, and his sister came out and said that he was tripping. That was him.
Okay, but that one situation, but there's plenty of people that call and they get off. So guess what, Carlee? I'm on your back. I got your back on that one, Carlee. Now on the other shit, you was tripping. But I don't think they didn't file no charges against you.
I think that little girl really does need some mental help. If she did all of this for attention, especially attention of a boyfriend, like something's not right. I mean, she has to be a smart girl. What is she like?
I don't think it's mental. I don't think she needs mental help. I think she knew exactly what she was going to do. She set out a plan. I mean, I don't think it's something that afflicts. I'm not gonna say afflicts. It affects the attention thing, the whole social media that you begging for attention. I don't know that that's a mental illness because it affects so many kids and young people and adults nowadays, really.
Oh, well, I was to say, I was kind of thinking about it. It's not like maybe like as drastic, but I know, I'm not going to say any names, but there was somebody, that I went to school with. And it was like every time her boyfriend got ready to break up with her, it's not funny, but she'd always send, text message or phone calls like, she's going to end her life. But she never did. I mean, we'll be 50 in a few years. And so, but I think it was just like something to do for attention seeking at the moment. And I think that has, I mean, like you said, I don't know if it's necessarily a mental illness where they can't help it, but something has to be like triggering them to think that that's okay.
Balanced. I think
it's a trauma response.
Well, there's a difference between I need likes on social media and I'm Googling and plotting my own disappearance. There, at some point, the masses may have this attention-seeking problem, but the masses ain't kidnapping themselves. So I think that the break between here and there has to be some type of mental illness.
See, the boyfriend was riding for her. The boyfriend was riding for her, and then when they found out she was lying, he deleted all that stuff immediately.
Deleted it immediately. And not only did they say he deleted those tweets, they say he deleted all traces of her.
See, and this is what I be talking about. How was that not attention seeking? You could have just left it alone. You could have just been.
If I was him, I probably just would have logged out and then not touched my page for a few weeks.
Few months. But they can't help themselves. They got to be on social media.
And that probably hurt too, though. Like he's writing
for sure.
All these posts and.
I mean, at some point, just like how we blame the boomers for the stuff that's wrong with us, at some point, we're going to have to blame ourselves for what's wrong with these attention-seeking ass kids, too. Because what are we not doing to make sure that these little bastards are living off of something more than likes.
We constantly give them attention.
Yep.
That's all they get.
Mhm.
They spoiled.
What's good, everybody? To listen to any of our past shows, go to www.manlistenshow.com. And if you want to add right here in the show, you can do the same thing. Yep.
So social media. Soon as the police came out and they started laying out the facts, where they was like, nah, this wasn't true. Carlee did this, Carlee did that, or whatever. The memes was coming. And you know, they already had it, they already had them lined up, right?
Man.
The people was doubting. And the memes they still coming out there, right? They got the funniest one I saw was a versus between her and Juicy Smouye. What's the name?
Juicy Smouye.
Juicy Smouye. There was a versus between her and Juicy Smouye. And you know, it's funny, but some people, just like with the guys that disappeared in the submarine, some people said, hey, it's a dark moment in her life. How many of y'all are perfect? We shouldn't be piling on this young lady. Do y'all agree or disagree with that?
I think it's all part of life in the world we live in. She chose to involve everybody in her disappearance. She could have just called her sister or friend and said, hey, keep this quiet. She chose to get everybody involved. So, I mean, it is what it is. You can't pick and choose what type of attention that you want when you want attention.
I agree with that, because I think that's the part of the problem is that we keep coddling them. You can't take the good without the bad. You take the actions, you're going to have to get the consequences. Now, I'm going to love you through the crazy actions and the crazy consequences, but you still going to have to deal with that. For the rest of your life. You're going to be a meme, and not in a good way. Because you made bad decisions. Okay, I have made bad decisions. Fortunately, I made my bad decisions in the 90s and the 2000s where I couldn't become a meme. Not yet, anyway. But, I mean, if I do, I'm going to have to stand on that. And I would, too.
Jury's out on that. That Freaknik documentary is coming out next year.
Yeah, she's gonna have to get married, change her last name, dye her hair, relocate to a different state.
Listen, she could get braids and won't nobody recognize her. Ain't nobody care.
I couldn't tell you right now if I saw her picture.
She be standing right next to me.
Here's my thing. You know, I saw a lot of bleeding heart people say, well, don't kick her when she's down and X, Y, and Z. Listen, she needs to get joked to the nth degree. She does. And you know why? Because we have so many Black women and Black children who go missing. So she needs to get drove, and she needs to be an example needs to be made of her. I don't think anything legal needs to happen to her, but an example needs to be made by her that, listen, you trying to get this type of attention, you're going to embarrass yourself and you're going to embarrass your family, because we can't allow stuff like that to happen. Now, for you folks to say, well, now they won't take anybody seriously when a Black woman goes missing. Listen, we could get something about saying a certain thing about unaliving, so I'm not going to say it. But so I'm just going to leave it alone. I'm going to leave it alone, right? But check this out. We need all hands on deck when it comes to protecting our women and our children. So if you let something like this make you feel like, listen, we're not being taken seriously, they weren't taking us seriously, no way. They weren't taking us seriously, no way. And I see too many jokes about when Black women, Black children go missing. Up in Cleveland, they said it was like 20 Black children who've been missing. Yeah. Right? In Cleveland, 20 Black children have been missing. In Kansas City, the local people was like, yo, there's a serial killer in our neighborhood. And folks was like, oh, well, the police investigated, and there's Black people. The police investigated, and this was a hoax. This wasn't true. And the rest of it was like, since when did we start trusting the police?
And that was just last year.
And guess what? There was a serial killer. Yeah. There was one. So we need all hands on deck when stuff like this happens. So Carlee, I'm sorry, baby. You're going to get these jokes. So the next person will think twice, 3 times about doing something like this.
Yeah. My thing is, she sat wherever she was and watched the nation worry about her. She sat back and she watched it. And she followed it and she ate it up. And that's why I say it has to be some type of mental illness, because if you're sitting back watching a whole nation rally behind you and you just like, maybe I'll get checkers for dinner.
People were talking about how they was crying praying for her and all this stuff. And you know,
like most people don't want to watch their parents go through that.
This girl up in the attic, like the boy on the hot balloon. Come on now. She's tripping. Now, what's up with the parents? Now, I can't be mad at the parents because, God forbid, one of our children or family members go missing. We're going to use all our resources too to try to find them.
Sure.
We are, right? What I don't understand is why did y'all do that interview? Because I don't know about y'all. I know what my damn kids is lying. I know what mine is. I mean, me and Rika and C, we got grown kids. You know when your damn kid is lying, right? You know, you be like, then what happened? Especially everybody got that one kid where you got to be like, and then what'd you do? And then what'd you say, right? You got to get to the bottom of it. I'd be damned if I did a damn press conference and knowing like, man, they done did it before. You know what I'm saying?
Listen,
What's up
like
with
I
the
said
parents?
before, even with my own kids, I'm gonna need all the facts first.
Right.
You know,
Ain't never stopped to help nobody on the side of the road ever.
Don't talk
I'd have hit him
Not
with that
compassionate,
PC
yeah.
statement. Our family requests privacy right now.
at this time, at this difficult time.
At this difficult time, right? And hey, I'd have been
Please
hiding
leave
for
us
6
alone.
months and cussing
Now,
my dad out
honestly,
every day.
like my kids know not to lie to me because I'm the angry, mean parent. But
It
so
says,
my kids,
has that stopped them? No.
yeah, they no. Even like my son, he came, he was just like, "Hey, I'm on my way. I need to talk to you." I was like, "All right." So he came over. He's like, "First off, I love you." I was like, "Here we go." So, but they know, no. He was like, "I thought you know everything." He was like, "So you know what this is about?" I was like, "I'm not omniscient, son. I'm just observant." The moms know everything. I was like, "Believe that. I do know everything. Keep that in mind next time. I'm just a little slow today." But no, but even with that belief in my heart, I'm still we request privacy at this difficult time for our family because I don't know what they did. And until I see their face and I hear the words out of their mouth, I don't know. Because it's when they start talking, you be like,
Yeah.
okay.
We all got that one. We all got that one where you got to be like, this what happened. And, you know, and they be the ones that be the most dramatic too. You know, if you don't got a child, you got a family member that's like this. That's the problem with the Black community. Nobody believes one another. We don't stick together. Like, okay, yeah, all right, yeah, you know, yeah. It'd be like that. But listen, I don't know what else we could say about this. We had a lot of fun with this episode. But again, y'all, a situation like this, yeah, we having fun with it. But this very well could happen. There are young Black women that do go missing. I saw a report out in California where a young woman was 8 months pregnant. Her family's still trying to find her. So just because somebody did some foolishness like this does not mean that, you know, nobody's going to take it seriously. I'm going to tell you something. They wasn't taking it serious in the first place. We are all we got. And we need all hands on deck to try to protect our women, protect our young boys and our young girls. Be vigilant. Talk to your children because this situation very well could have been true. It could have happened. It's unfortunate that this young lady lied and misconstrued this, but it can happen. So I had the conversation with your young women, your young boys, your young teenagers. Don't be trusting. Call for help, but be smart. Don't put yourself in a position where you can be taken away from your family because it very well could happen. And with that, I think we talked about it enough. Make sure you follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at manlistenshow. Subscribe to the show on YouTube. Let's get us to 350. We were at around 334. Let's get 16 people. Get us up to 350. And make sure you tell everybody about the Blackest Radio Show on the net. Blackest Radio Show. Messing up. That's the ghost of Carlee. The ghost of Carlee was like,
"Oh, she's still alive."
Carlee rolling over to her grave.
That's the baby's ghost. She goes to that baby.
That little baby.
Goes to that baby. Make sure y'all follow us. We'll holler next time. Peace.